Hello everyone, Marco here. Welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to do another live stream in our week-long series of, getting to know the platform, some basics in preparation for wider activities on rolling out and onboarding here in the next couple weeks. So yesterday, or in the last live stream, we showed you how to buy SmartMetal from the SmartMetal P2P store. And today, what happens when there's no store at all? Or in other words, just two people. So in that case, what we do is an intent. And an intent is you saying what you have and what you want and settling directly with whoever matches. Non-custodial, peer-to-peer, no order book, no middleman holding your funds. This is the first idea in the patent portfolio and the purest one. So what is an intent versus an exchange order? Well, there's no deposit, there's no custodian, and there's no counterparty risk. There are three flavors that we've implemented on the platform: standard intents, premium intents, and intent classic. And let's just go through those real briefly. Intent classic is merely the code that Reggie's dev is implementing off of the patents. Same patents, same protocol I'm using. They're just implementing it differently. So that's the beauty of the way Reggie's set up his patents. And the Contra protocol is if you negotiate with Reggie and get a license, you can build whatever you want. And so that's what I'm doing. And that's why mine looks different than Patrick's. So intent, here's my version. You can kind of see a little similarity between them. We've got a from and a to and some quantities and wallet connection area and whatnot. So that's what we've got here too, from and to, and with a little bit more enhancement than we've seen before. So let me start. I'll just start by showing you. It's probably the easiest way. You can connect your wallet, and the wallet picker will give you a list of whatever you've got installed on your platform. And in this case, I've got MetaMask that I want to use. I've also got Brave and the Coinbase wallet, but we're going to go with MetaMask. So we'll connect that in there. And once you do that, you can also pick which chain. This is a new feature or functionality we've added recently as well. You can pick between Base and Ethereum. So we'll leave this side on Base. And what I'm setting up to do is what I call a two browser test. Since it's just me today, what this does is this simulates two different people. And what I've got is on the right side a Brave browser that I'm connected in as myself, Marco. And then on the left side, I've got an Opera browser, and I'm going to connect in as Ivan. And Ivan's got a different wallet connected here than Marco does. So we'll connect into that. And in this case, I want to show the new functionality, the cross chain. So we're going to put Ivan on the Ethereum chain and head over to intents. And we'll see what happens when you drop down either of the from or to positions. It pre-populates. Once your wallet is connected, it will pre-populate any tokens for which you have some in quantity in the wallet. And so we see here on the Ethereum chain, Ivan has ETH and USDC. Those are the Ethereum versions. Okay. Over here on Marco's side, he's connected up and he's got ETH and USDC and other assets on the base chain. We see right here, the base chain. So we're going to actually do a cross-chain intent here. So Marco's going to be the maker, and he's going to say, I want to, I want this USDC that is my 2 asset. I want it on Ethereum instead of Base. And so we know that can happen with Ivan over here. Normally these two wouldn't know each other, but for this test, I want to make sure that we have enough tokens on both sides, right? So we see, oh yes, we see USDC on Ethereum. There's 0.244. There's not much. Ivan's got a little more Ethereum, $4 worth. So let's try that. Let's switch these assets here, and we'll send USDC, and we're going to look for, coming back from Ivan, we're going to look for the Ethereum, and we find the Ethereum chain, Ethereum. We have $4 worth, 002. So what I'm going to do is say, this is ETH here, and how do I want to do this? I want to send it this way. 0.001 would be 1.85 USDC. So let's call it 188. 188, and we're gonna try and get 001 Ethereum on the Ethereum chain. So to recap, USDC is on Base. That's what we're going to give to the transaction, and what we want back is Ethereum on the Ethereum chain. Okay, let's give this a shot. So we're going to broadcast. We see here, before I do that, this is how you go cross-chain, deliver whichever asset you've picked on whichever chain you want. And it's telling you, I've picked Ethereum, but I'm on Base as we set. So it's telling me this is a cross-chain intent, and I'm offering USDC on Base, and I want ETH on Ethereum. And so when I broadcast this, insufficient balance, they're offering USDC. I don't have, let's see. Oh, let me get on Base here. And, well, we can use Veri instead. I've got plenty of Veri. Let's use Veri. So we'll pick Veri, and 0.1 Veri, point, let's see, half a Veri. What's that give us? A little too much. Quarter of a Veri. Okay, 0.2. Let's do 0.2 for 0.1 ETH. 0.2 Veri, 0.001 ETH. And now I've got Veri on Base that I'm going to send and do a value exchange for Ethereum on the ETH on the Ethereum chain. So if I broadcast that guy, okay, exchange rate differs by 7%. It's complaining because I changed the size. It knows the prices, and yeah, I want it a little different. We'll see. So if you heard that sound, that's an audible indicator that says an intent has just been broadcast. And we see here, Marco, your intent. So my intent at 3:39 p.m. Veri to ETH. And I'm waiting for interest from takers. And this settles cross-chain Base main net to Ethereum mainnet. So we come over here to Ivan, and we see, oh, an active intent popped into his window. So Ivan sees Veri to ETH, Base to Ethereum mainnet. And okay, that sounds interesting. Let's go. And we pop in here, And the maker starts things off. So that's Marco over here. So Marco is going to post a message in here for Ivan. And it says, I'm proposing a swap. I'm offering 0.2 vary on base mainnet in exchange for 0.001 ETH on Ethereum mainnet. Does this work for you? And we send that over to Ivan. And Ivan looks at that and he's wondering, let's see, let's ask the AI agent for analysis and see what it says. Oh, fairness score 63 of 100, 7.7% better than market. Could be improved. Could be improved by 7%. So that's giving you the AI analysis on this deal. You can adjust it right here. So just to show how that works, I can say, oh, 0.25 vary and 0.001345 ETH. And what that's doing, it just pre-populated with the current price. It goes out behind the scenes and checks that. So we'll put that in. Basically, that's the market price. So we're going to go ahead and propose that. We see Marco's side here automatically comes in and pops out the intent settlement as proposed by Ivan. And so we're just going to go ahead and take that. We can confirm it here. If we didn't like that, we could come back and adjust it, but let's go ahead with that and confirm. And this is the usual wallet approvals, in this case, MetaMask. And now we can see that the intent lock was signed by Marco, and Marco is now awaiting the taker. Okay, we see the maker has signed, that's Marco, paid his platform fees, and now waiting for the taker. So on the taker side, we've also got MetaMask with a twist. We've got Trezor hardware wallet connected into this MetaMask for extra security. So we're going to use that method. You get logged in here to my hardware wallet, to my Trezor Model T. And it says follow the instructions on my device, which I am. It's leading me through confirmation messages, which I've just completed. And now we'll wait for that to process and follow it up with the next one. Since we are going cross-chain here, it's not quite as snappy as it usually is on base. Because why? Because we're also linking in with Ethereum network or chain here too. And the Ethereum chain's just not as fast as the base chain is. So slightly slower, slightly more expensive too, to go cross-chain to Ethereum because it's a more expensive chain than base. Okay, I'm doing my MetaMask approvals on my Trezor. And now we see it's brought us into the atomic value transfer and the HTLC settlement. And so now we see the maker goes first, and we see on here various information, the quarter of a vary for the 0.01345 ETH on the Ethereum chain. The vary is on base, and it gives us our hash time lock and the secret key, which we'll need next. It's telling us this is a cross-chain swap. It's giving us our progress thus far. You can also open the primitives bitmap here and see where we're at in the progression. Thus far, we've so far triggered 4 claims. Going down through here, it even shows you the times that those were triggered. And when we get to the end, it won't hit all of them, but it'll hit all of them that it needs for this settlement. So Marco is going to lock his quarter of a vary And what it does is it locks it in the HTLC contract. And so basically it puts it in escrow. VeTest, the platform, doesn't hold it. Marco doesn't hold it. The HTLC contract holds it. Okay. Ivan's going to go ahead and lock his. Oh, insufficient ETH. Okay. Well, that's an issue. And let's see here. Yep. I need more. So what I'm going to do to get through this, sort of a, phone a lifeline. I'm going to come over here and actually share some ETH, some Ethereum ETH here. And I'll just go ahead and send it over to that wallet. And let's send over 0015, half of it. Normally, of course, you wouldn't do this. If you did get into one and you found you didn't have enough, you can just simply do what I'm doing, or you could go off and purchase some more quickly through your wallet or exchange and then come back and continue. So that's what I'm going to do. Okay. Oops. Here's what happened. I sent base Ethereum instead of sending Ethereum. If that makes sense. So let's get over here on Ethereum and look at my tokens, make sure I have enough to share here. I do. Let's do it again. Let's send over. Oh, no, let's just send half. Hopefully that will get us through the transaction. Submitted. Now there is a catch in the software, in the code, that will catch this. The astute viewer will note Marco changed his chain. Now he should be on base, but he swapped out to Ethereum chain to send those tokens to Ivan. And if he doesn't switch back to base, he'll come along and he'll hit a warning and it'll force him to go back to base or abandon the transaction. So I'll go ahead and just shift back over to base now so we can skip that check. And we come over, let's see if Ivan received it. Yes, we see Ivan's received it. And now he's going to go in and connect his wallet and run it through the transaction again. Just like that. And the next one here. You get used to the fast transaction settlements on base, and even a slightly slower one, you notice it. But still pretty speedy overall. Ethereum chain, not too bad. And now both sides are paying their fees. And we see now settlement fees paid on both sides. Now we're at the step for the maker to reveal the secret key to claim. And once this happens, you're at the point of no return, meaning that both parties can claim their new tokens and exit the transaction. So let's reveal, and immediately we see Marco can claim the ETH, which he does here. Let's go ahead and claim that. Again, coming from Ethereum chain, ETH. So just a little bit slower than normal. And then Ivan's going to claim the base vary here, the quarter of the base vary. Marco is going to do the tracer on behalf of Ivan here. And we see it's processing. And done. Both sides. So now you see the full HTLC settlement receipt. Shows the quarter of a vary on base. with the 001345 ETH on Ethereum. Here's that bitmap I talked about, fully filled out for the intent. You'll notice multiple claims have not been tripped here. That's actually a good thing. That means they weren't used in this transaction. And in this case, Marco, the maker, did not pay for those. You only pay for the transactions or the claims that you use from Reggie. You don't pay for all the claims, you just pay for the ones you use. So that's the bitmap. We see the steps here, the completed steps, the contract for the maker and the taker that they both filled out, and the completed versions of those. We see the maker and taker time locks. Those are, if something goes wrong, there will be an auto refund after this amount of time. Since it completed through to fruition, we won't have that. We've got our platform fees that the maker paid in step 1 and 2. Got the IP owner fees and the amounts the maker paid. So Marco paid claim 1 for both of these patents from Reggie's and claim 13 from this patent, 6566. Marco also paid the technology fees to deliver those IP fees. So the IP fee is Reggie's patent reimbursement, patent fee. The technology fee is the cost to deliver that patent claim or claims in this case. And that consists of the hardware, software, subscriptions, licensing, all of that stuff that we've had to do to create this node and site. So IP owner fees by the maker, you've got 2 sections of them here. It was done in 2 batches. That's just the way the flow works with the Contra protocol. Platform fees for the taker, same thing. We've got IP owner fees. Nope, they're different, right? The maker and taker only pay for the pieces they use, right? And likewise, the technology fees underneath of that. There is a disclosure on here. I would recommend, especially the first time you read it, to help understand what's happening here. You can freeze the video and read that if you want. It's explaining in more detail what the IP owner fees are and the technology fees. And then at the bottom here, the maker and taker, where they locked their tokens in, and maker and taker where they claim their tokens. And so when you're done, you can click the bottom here, view settlements in my intents. It takes you out here to this option, my intents in your tools box. And so we'll see this is the intent settlement receipt for the intent that we just completed. You see the platform fees here. So 0007 ETH. Pretty reasonable, I think. And you see the IP owner fee and technology fee split. When you click that, you in essence see what we were looking at before with the expandable sections, the settlement details or the receipt. And both sides get one of those. They actually, I purposely included the fee visibility for both sides so that no matter which side you're on, you can see what the other side is paying as well. And all these fees are always available on the blockchain. They come right from the blockchain. They originate from the blockchain. You can look at the logs on here and see where these transactions are actually written out to the blockchain. So you can see the quarter of a vary right there and the ETH with the hexadecimal amount there. So kind of cool. I did that for a purpose. There's an indelible record, permanent record out on the blockchain for whoever needs to look at it in the future. So Again, they can view my settlements and my intents, and it brings up that same view, but from the maker's perspective. So that's the intents. You can always get to my intents down here from any of the intent channels: intent, premium intent, intent classic. Now, one thing we haven't talked through yet is the premium intent room. Premium intent is just what it sounds like. That's an intent room, but it's a premium version. And what it offers, you can see here, it when somebody broadcasts an intent, whether it's from the regular intent room or the premium intent, it puts a card out here. And the premium about that is that it saves it for 30 minutes. Because the normal behavior when you broadcast an intent, if you're not in the intent room to catch it, it's like a sound wave. It goes by and it's gone. And you can't, once it's gone, it's gone. And Ivan would miss it, never to, get it again unless Marco rebroadcast it again. However, if Ivan has access to the premium intent room, he could have taken that intent from here up to 30 minutes later after Marco broadcast it. And so if Ivan's in the restroom or making coffee or just steps away for a moment, he can still get access to that intent, even though it was ephemeral and just flew by. So to show you what that looks like, I can come over here to premium intent with Marco and come down and broadcast a new intent here. And in this case, I'll just say one very, and good to see it's about above $10 now. So one very for 10. Let's do that. Oh, well, it's telling me uh, Ethereum is yours, your chain. So what that means is I'm on the ETH chain. And you'll notice before I was on base, well, when we were doing that last settlement, it automatically switched me to Ethereum to claim that Ethereum on the other chain. So let's go ahead and get Marco back on the base chain here and go ahead and we can look and see he's got 7 very currently. So he can easily put one out, and we're going to give whoever a bargain here. We'll just say 10 instead of 1009. And if I leave it on base, then that would indicate in this case, if Ivan were to take it, Ivan would need his USDC on base versus Ethereum, like the cross chain, like we did last time. I won't follow this one all the way through, but I do want to show you what it looks like. So you hear the tone. Now you see a gold colored card in here and it says become taker. So if Ivan over here on Ivan's side wanted to take this, and he can look at it, vary to USDC, and it settles on base mainnet. So automatically then both of these are base chain assets. Now, just to give you the full view, let's have Ivan do the reciprocal. Ivan's on base now. Does he have any vary? He's got a third of a vary here, 0.35. He can offer up, and that'd give 3.5 or so in USDC. And when Ivan broadcasts, oh, no, that it's actually right. Ivan was in the premium room and broadcasted. We see first one's from Marco, second from Ivan. But what I intended to show you was Ivan broadcasting from the regular intent room. So let's look at that. Let's do a 0.35 from there and broadcast from there. Now we see from Ivan's side what we saw before, his active intents. This is the regular intent view. However, over here, Marco's still in the premium intent room, and you see Ivan's intent just populated in here. So this intent card relates to this intent from Ivan. So directly across. So that's how it looks in the premium intent room. That's how it looks in the regular intent room. We've shown you now the cross chain intent. That works as well. Actually, it works from all chains in here, including Bitcoin. So you can go Bitcoin to base or Bitcoin to ETH or any combination within there. So there you have it. That's our intent process. And let's see, what do we have remaining? All I got, and on that, your homework today will be come on to VeTest app. If you can, create an account, go into the creators room. You'll see here, oh, live, look at there. And also this gives you a verbal and visual indicator that Marco's live over here. So you can just literally follow the live indicators. And we see, let me go view my room, and we see that, scroll up here, the free tier live. Marco's live on the free tier. I can actually play that here. I'll go ahead and mute that. This is a live stream of what I'm broadcasting right now live. I do have a setup. If you've got, I've got just one chat for my week long here. And we see tuned in live 5x5 by Shmi. Unfortunately, I think I missed him again. Dang it. Let's see. 15, 3. Oh, well, maybe not. Shmi, if you're here, welcome. Good job. And I guess it worked out. I had some extra work to do last night, and so I deferred to now for last night's broadcast, and then I'll follow up soon with today's live stream broadcast. And just again to show you, the current broadcast will be in here, so when you come in, you'll be able to view it there. Any past live streams, you can drop down here. So here's yesterday's. I haven't renamed it yet. I can do that. You can pop these open and watch each of the previous live streams here through this manner. So, all right, folks, let's do one last thing here. I'm going to give you my QR code and let you know that you can head on over to VeTest.app. Maybe I shouldn't have done that. VeTest.app pound or #/creator/VeTest -uprising. And that'll take you directly into my creators channel here. All right. So thanks much, everyone. Appreciate you tuning in, and take care. We will catch you all on the next one. Bye-bye.